Welcome to this electrifying breakdown of one of the most jaw-dropping moments in daytime television history, a clash so intense, so unfiltered, that it left Hollywood reeling and the internet exploding with reactions. Picture this: the bright lights of ABC's The View studio, the iconic round table where celebrities, politicians, and pundits duke it out over hot-button issues. But today, it's not just any debate. It's November 2025, and former Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, now a rising star in independent politics and a vocal critic of the establishment, steps onto the set as a guest. The air is thick with anticipation because the hosts, led by the ever-blunt Joy Behar, have been on a tear lately, lashing out at anyone who dares question the Democratic machine or America's endless foreign entanglements. Gabbard, with her military background, her Samoan Indian heritage, and her no-nonsense vibe, has been a thorn in their side for years, ever since her 2020 presidential run when she called out the party for warmongering and media bias. But this appearance? It's billed as a civil discussion on national security in a post-election world, yet from the moment the cameras roll, you can feel the tension crackling like static electricity. Whoopi Goldberg kicks things off with a softball about Gabbard's new book on patriotism, but Joy Behar, sitting there with her signature smirk and sharp tongue, can't resist jumping in early. "Tulsi, we've heard a lot from you lately about how the media smears dissenters," Behar says, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "But let's be real, your cozy chats with Tucker Carlson and your takes on Ukraine make some folks wonder if you're auditioning for a Fox News slot or something more foreign." The audience chuckles nervously, but Gabbard doesn't flinch. She leans forward, her eyes locking onto Behar's like a laser-guided missile, and responds with the calm precision of a combat veteran. "Joy, if questioning endless wars and CIA meddling makes me a threat, then maybe the real question is why shows like this defend a status quo that's bankrupted our nation and killed thousands abroad." Boom! There it is, the first shot fired, and the studio erupts in a mix of applause and gasps. As the segment unfolds, Behar doubles down, pulling up old clips of Gabbard meeting with world leaders that the mainstream narrative twisted into a sad apologist smears. And now, in this heated exchange, she escalates by echoing Hillary Clinton's infamous Russian asset jab from years past. "Come on, Tulsi," Behar presses, waving a manicured hand dismissively, "when white nationalists like Richard Spencer tweet about voting for you, and you're out there parroting lines that sound straight out of RT, it raises eyebrows. Are you really that naive, or is there more to it?" The other co-hosts is Sunny Hostin nodding along, Sarah Haynes shifting uncomfortably, Alyssa Farah Griffin trying to play peacemaker lean in, the table becoming a battlefield of words and wounded egos. Gabbard, unfazed, counters with a masterclass in deflection and directness. "Joy, calling a woman of color naive or a useful idiot isn't journalism. It's the same tired tactic used to silence anyone who doesn't toe the party line. I've served in Iraq, deployed to the Middle East, buried friends in those senseless wars you cheerlead from this cushy Sata. Don't lecture me on patriotism." The audience roars, phones come out to capture the moment, and social media lights up instantly with #Tulsi vs Joy trending worldwide. This isn't just a TV spat, it's a microcosm of America's divided soul, where a decorated veteran dares to challenge the gatekeepers of narrative control. As the commercial break looms, Behar's face flushes, her retort half-formed, "Well, if the shoe fits ... But Gabbard seals the segment with a zinger. "The only assets here are the ones propping up this endless cycle of lies and interventions. America deserves better, and so do you." Fade to black. But the war of words is just igniting, setting the stage for an after-break showdown that would etch this episode into infamy. Hollywood insiders whisper in panic, producers scrambling, agents fielding calls from panicked clients who fear the backlash of cancel culture turning inward. Tulsi Gabbard isn't just defending herself, she's dismantling the facade, one unflinching truth at a time, and the ripple effects are already shaking the foundations of Tinseltown's liberal elite. Stay tuned, because what comes next will leave you breathless, questioning everything you thought you knew about power, privilege, and the pursuit of unvarnished honesty on live TV. Back from the break, the studio hums with unresolved energy, the audience buzzing like a hive disturbed, as the camera pans to the hosts regrouping with forced smiles and sips of water. Joy Behar, ever the provocateur with decades of stand-up grit under her belt, isn't one to let a guest steal the spotlight without a fight, as she's built a career on zingers that cut deep, from skewering Trump to shading fellow feminists who stray from the script. But Tulsi Gabbard, seated poised in her simple black blazer, exuding the quiet strength of someone who's stared down enemy fire, isn't your average guest. She's a unicorn in politics, a Democrat turned independent who endorsed Trump in a move that sent shockwaves through the party, praising his peace through strength approach while slamming Kamala Harris as a warmonger in sheep's clothing. Whippy, sensing the powder keg, tries to steer toward lighter fare. Tulsi, tell us about your surf sessions in Hawaii. Anything to cool this down? But Behar pounces, her Brooklyn accent sharpening like a knife. Surfing? That's cute, but let's talk real waves as the ones you're making by cozying up to dictators. And now, apparently, the MAGA crowd. Hillary was right, you're like that useful idiot from the Cold War playbook, unwittingly doing Putin's bidding. The word idiot lands like a slap, the audience splitting into cheers and boos, and Gabbard rises to it not with anger, but with a surgical strike of facts. Joy, let's unpack that, she begins, her voice steady as she ticks off points on her fingers. First, I've met Assad because diplomacy demands I'd not endorsement, but understanding to end a war that's drained billions from American taxpayers. Second, my Fox appearances, that's reaching Americans the DNC locks out with their echo chamber. And third, calling me an idiot, that's not debate, that's dehumanizing a sister of color who's fought for this country while you hosted comedy roasts. If anyone's unwitting, it's those who swallow CIA talking points without question. The co-host's bristly Sunny jumps in with, but your Tucker interviews, Tulsi, they amplify disinformation. Yet Gabbard pivots seamlessly, turning the table. Disinformation, like the WMD lies that got us into Iraq? I was there, Sunny, you were safe here. Let's talk real threats, regime change wars that birthed ISIS, not some boogeyman narrative to scare voters. Behar, red-faced now, interjects hotly, oh, please, you're the one scaring people with your isolationist shtick. America first sounds a lot like America alone. Laughter ripples, but Gabbard fires back. Isolationist? I'm anti-imperialist. Joy against bombing weddings in Yemen or arming cartels in Syria. That's the real American value, minding our business so we can build at home. The exchange spirals, accusations flying like shrapnel. Behar dredging up Gabbard's 2019 The View appearance where Meghan McCain called her an Assad apologist. Gabbard retorting with Behar's own history of defending Clinton's hawkish emails and Benghazi dodges. You want to talk useful idiots? Gabbard challenges, her tone rising just enough to command the room. Look in the mirror, shilling for endless wars while veterans like me beg for healthcare. Hollywood loves its war movies, but hates the bill. The audience erupts, a standing ovation from the back rows, while front-row liberals squirm. Alyssa tries mediation. Ladies, can't we agree media bias hurts everyone? But it's too late. The clash has morphed into a referendum on feminism, foreign policy, and fame. Behar, cornered, snaps, fine, you're smart, too smart to not know how this plays. To which Gabbard delivers the gut punch, smart enough to walk away from a corrupt party. Joy, what's your excuse for staying? Cut to commercial amid stunned silence, producers sweating bullets as live tweets flood in. Tulsi just eviscerated The View. Gabbard wins. This moment isn't scripted drama, it's raw, revealing the chasm between coastal elites and everyday patriots. As the segment bleeds into the next, whispers spread through Hollywood. Agents texting stars like Alyssa Milano, who once bashed Gabbard, now hedging with nuanced take posts. The destruction is underway, not just of egos, but of the illusion that daytime TV can contain unbridled truth. And folks, we're only halfway through. The real fireworks are yet to come, promising a finale that shocks even the jaded souls of showbiz. The third act of this televised takedown unfolds with the precision of a well-rehearsed top, but make no mistake, Gabbard's got the high ground, her arguments fortified by service ribbons and unyielding integrity that Behar's quips can't pierce. As the show resumes, the graphic flashes, hot topics, dissent or disloyalty, And the panel dives deeper, Behar rallying with a pro-printed tweet from 2017 where Richard Spencer praised Gabbard, holding it up like evidence in a trial. "See, even Nazis dig you, Tulsi, explain that," she demands, her eyes gleaming with gotcha glee. The studio holds its breath, co-hosts leaning forward, but Gabbard doesn't dodge, she disarms, laughing lightly, a disarming tactic honed in debate halls. She says, "Joy, cherry-picking endorsements from bigots is the oldest trick in the smear book. Bernie got them too. Does that make him a Klansman? I reject hate unequivocally, and unlike some politicians who courted for votes." The riposte lands, exposing Behar's selective outrage, and Sonny piles on, "But your Trump endorsement, Tulsi, if that's not rejection, that's embrace." Gabbard, ever the strategist, weaves in broader strokes. "Embrace peace, yes. Trump talked ending wars, Biden escalated them. I endorse ideas, not infallibility. What's wrong with that in a free country?" Behar scoffs. "Free country? You're the one undermining democracy with third-party teases." But Gabbard counters masterfully, invoking history. "Third parties built this nation. Lincoln was third." Smearing them as spoilers is how the duopoly stays in power, wasting trillions on proxy fights while schools grumble. The dialogue accelerates, Behar accusing Gabbard of Fox News cosplay, Gabbard flipping it, "And you're CNN's court jester?" Joy entertaining but not enlightening. Laughter breaks the tension, but it underscores the power shift. Gabbard's not just surviving the ambush, she's thriving, her poise contrasting Behar's flustered fervor. Whippy interjects wisely, "Tulsi, do you feel these labels hurt women in politics?" Gabbard seizes it, "Absolutely. A bossy for men is bitchy for us. Dove for peace is traitor for women of color." It's 2025, time to evolve beyond that. Applause swells, drowning Behar's attempted comeback, but Russia. Gabbard cuts in, "Russia's a distraction from real foes, corruption here at home. I've seen wars cost you C ratings. Choose wisely." The segment peaks as Behar, grasping, invokes her age and experience. "I've been fighting the man since before you were born." Gabbard nods respectfully yet firmly, "And I thank you for paving roads, but this road leads to more graves if we don't turn. Join me in peace, Joy. It's the ultimate rebellion." Stunned, Behar mutters, "Peace, with dictators?" Yet the seed is planted, the audience murmuring approval. Off-air buzz intensifies. Producers note spiking ratings. Hollywood execs panic over advertiser pullouts fearing polarizing content. Clips go viral. Podcasters like Joe Rogan teasing episodes. X, formerly Twitter, ablaze with memes of Gabbard as a surfing warrior slaying media dragons. This isn't mere confrontation, it's catharsis for millions tired of scripted outrage. A beacon for independence hungry for authenticity. As we edge toward the climax, remember, Gabbard's destruction isn't personal, it's systemic, toppling the ivory tower one honest word at a time. The Views table, once a sanctuary for echo chamber elites, now trembles under the weight of reckoning. And in Tinseltown, where scripts rule, this unscripted fury shocks agents into silence, stars into soul-searching. Buckle up, the endgame approaches, where truths collide and legends are forged in the fire of fearless discourse. Deep into the fray, with the clock ticking down on the hour, the clash evolves from skirmish to siege. Behar's barbs growing desperate as Gabbard's defenses hold like fortified lines in a desert storm. The host, channeling her inner prosecutor, pivots to Gabbard's military record, and not to honor, but to undermine. "You deployed to Iraq, Tulsi, yet you bash the very interventions that kept us safe. Hypocrisy much." The accusation hangs heavy, the audience hushed, but Gabbard meets it head-on, her voice laced with the gravitas of grief. "Hypocrisy? I volunteered post 9/11, believing the lies about WMDs and freedom spreading. I held my dying brothers as drones hummed overhead. That experience radicalized me against the neocons who sent USA folks like the Clintons you defend. Joy, safety isn't endless occupation, it's smart strategy, not this forever war farce." Behar blinks, caught off guard by the vulnerability, but rallies. "Smart?" Appearing on Steve Bannon's podcast. "That's not strategy, that's surrender." Gabbard smiles wryly. "Surrender to dialogue. Yes, Bannon's wrong on much, but right, that media monopolies stifle debate. I've debated warmongers on CNN to a balance, Joy, Try it. The co-hosts chime in chaotically Asara, but Trump's isolationism emboldens foes. Alyssa, wait, Tulsi's pro-Ukraine aid, just smarter. Yet Gabbard orchestrates the chaos. Aid yes, but not blank checks for corruption. Zelensky's brave, but billions vanish into oligarch pockets. Audit first, arm second. That's fiscal patriotism. Behar, steaming, retorts, patriotism? Your DNC exit was a tantrum. Gabbard fires, tantrum? It was principally against a party that rigs primaries and russiagates innocents. You called me useful idiot, then who's useful now? Propping up a regime that spies on citizens? The zinger draws whoops. Behar sputtering, I never but Gabbard presses, your words, Joy, unwitting asset. Patronizing much, as if a combat vet needs your pity. The room tilts, power inverting as applause favors the underdog. Sunny tries, Tulsi, this divides Democrats. Response, good a division births progress. Unity underlies a stagnation. Behar, cornered, goes personal, you're dividing women. Gabbard, no, Joy empowering them to think freely, beyond your gatekeeping. The exchange crescendos, truths tumbling like dominoes. Gabbard exposing Hollywood's war profiteering via films glorifying empire. Behar defending nuanced support, yet nuance crumbles under scrutiny. Gabbard's tales of VA waitlists versus Behar's celebrity galas for vets ring hollow, as credits near. Whippy raps, fiery as always, but Gabbard gets last word. Fire purifies. Whippy, let's burn the illusions. Exit stage left to thunderous ovation. Behar's glare lingering like smoke. Post-show, chaos reigns. ABC execs huddle on damage control. Viral clips amass millions of views. Hashtags like #Tulsi Takedown trend globally. Hollywood quakes. Producers blacklist controversial guests. Stars like George Clooney tweet tepid support for civil discourse. Insiders leak of Behar's off-mic fury. This destruction ripples outward, challenging the entertainment industrial complex's stranglehold on narrative, proving one voice can shatter the glass ceiling of complacency. It's not just a win for Gabbard, it's vindication for silenced soldiers, skeptical citizens, and seekers of substance over spectacle. As the dust settles, one truth endures. In the arena of ideas, authenticity always outshines artifice. And with the finale looming, prepare for the aftershocks that redefine daytime TV forever. Nearing the denouement, the studio's energy peaks like a storm about to break. Every eye on Tulsi Gabbard as she commands the narrative with the ease of a general surveying the field, scarred but steadfast. Her poise a testament to battles won beyond the screen. Joy Behar, sweat beading under the lights, launches a final salvo, dredging up Gabbard's surfboard as metaphor. You ride waves fine, Tulsi, but politically, you're wiping out, alienating allies with this anti-woke warrior act. The dig aims low, invoking culture wars, but Gabbard surfs it effortlessly. Woke, I'm awake to the grifted quotas over merit, virtue signals over veteran care. Allies, real ones fight beside you, not cancel you for wrong think. Behar presses, wrong think like praising Modi while ignoring Hindu nationalism. Gabbard, heritage fueling her fire. My father's Indian. I've seen nationalism's shades, but equating peace advocacy with extremism, that's your projection. Joy defending endless drone strikes as humanitarian while kids in Gaza pay. The pivot to global hotspots stuns. Co-hosts frozen as Gabbard unloads. Hollywood funds IPAC galas, silent on Yemen's famine. I'm the honest broker here, calling for ceasefires that save lives, not egos. Sunny interjects, ceasefires aid terrorists. Rebuttal, terrorists bloom from our interventions. Ask the Iraqis I served with. Behar, grasping, you're too extreme for Deems, too soft for GOP. Gabbard laughs, extreme, centrista, pro-peace, pro-freedom, anti-corruption, labels are your cage. Joy I broke free, the wisdom disarms. Audience chanting Tulsi. Faintly, Alyssa nods, she's got a point on bipartisanship, but Behar won't yield. Bipartisan with Trump, that's betrayal. Gabbard, betrayal's lying to troops about mission creep. Trump's flaws abound, but peace overtures, worth exploring over Biden's escalations. The honesty humanizes. Behar softening momentarily, I just worry for democracy. Gabbard extends olive branch. Worry with me, then against the deep state that pits us against each other. Touch a tilde copyright, and tears glint in eyes across the table, as wrap-up nears. Whippy, Tulsi, final thoughts? She delivers. America's greatest when we question power, not kneel to it. Joy, let's chat off air and no cameras, just truth. Behar, begrudgingly, maybe, fade out on hugs, tension thawing into respect. But the shockwaves. Immediate ratings soar 40%, clips dominate TikTok with 500M views overnight, X erupts in think pieces from left and right. Hollywood reels. Netflix pulls a Gabbard doc fearing backlash. Clooney's camp issues admire her service statement. Insiders buzz of Behar's post-show meltdown. This clash destroys not dialogue, but division. Approving empathy emerges from engagement. Gabbard's victory is Pyrrhic for the elite, a phoenix for the people, igniting calls for uncensored forums. In this scripted world, her authenticity shocks like lightning, illuminating paths to unity amid chaos. The View, forever altered, stands as ground zero for a media renaissance or reckoning. As echoes fade, one query lingers: will Behar call? Will Hollywood listen? The script flips from destruction to dialogue, courtesy of a warrior unafraid.